Hi, everybody. Welcome to our last week together. Oh my gosh, for me, this has flown by. I just want to tell you, when I was asked to take over this course, I wasn't quite sure what I was getting into. But I do want to let you know that I have really enjoyed working with you and getting to know you a little bit better, and seeing your knowledge increase has been great. I've really enjoyed it. It was a lot of work, but it was good. And let's stay strong through the end of this last week. So we've got, I'll be scoring your last CLC assignment, and I can't wait to see how you took that evidence and then put it into a clinical protocol and how you did the implementation. So I'm really excited to read those. I will try to get those done relatively shortly, is my goal. And then we've got this week's last critique paper coming up. So all of you have gotten your second critique paper back. Please click on those, open them up. Most of you made a nice improvement from your first paper to your second. I'm really excited about that. But open it up and make sure to look if there's any comments or anything. The biggest thing to do is just go boom, 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 right down the line and answer those questions. And divide them up into the sections so that I don't have to pick around to find them. The one thing I do want to let you know about this is, so you've got the assignment, right, in week 8, and then there's that little attachment at the bottom, and it tells you what sections to do each week, right? Well, on this third and final paper, the sections that are listed don't exactly match box 5.2 and 5.3, okay? So what I want you to do is just answer the questions in box 5.2 and 5.3. Just complete the last sections. I think, for instance, there's a section on like validity and reliability in particular that's not in the book, that's in the assignment. So don't worry about that attachment to the assignment. Just finish the last sections of box 5.2 and box 5.3 and you will be good to go, okay? So I wanted to kind of clear that up. A lot of people get confused on that. And then this week, it's very confusing how you get your initial DQ points, how you get your reply points. Okay, so everybody needs to go into DQ1, hit reply, and write something, okay? Now, if you did not upload your project, your CLC project, if you weren't the one to do that, the first time you go into the forum, click reply, write one of your responses. Okay, that's your initial DQ, you get your points. But let's say you're one of the people who uploaded the assignment, right? So let's say you were, I don't know, Blue Group, and you uploaded Blue Group's assignment. Well, just uploading Blue Group's assignment doesn't get you the 5 DQ points, okay? So the way that I've tried to make this work until GCU changes it is the first reply post that you post, I won't count that as a substantive post. I will actually count that as your initial DQ response. I hope that makes sense. I think you'll see as we go along how I do that. But everybody, if you did not post the CLC assignment, be sure to hit the reply so you'll have an initial post and get those DQ points. If you did upload your group's assignment, your first reply is what I'll count as your initial DQ. So you'll see the points under the initial DQ, and that first reply won't be counted as substantives because it will be counted towards your initial DQ points. I hope that makes sense. If not, drop me a line in the individual forum and I'll see if I can have it make more sense. But hopefully you understand what you need to do for this week. Okay, so I'll be grading the CLC projects. We talked about you'll need to do the final paper. Oh, everything is due by Wednesday at midnight. There is no like submitting late assignments. Drop dead is midnight. When I go in Thursday into the course, anything that wasn't uploaded by Friday at midnight, it's a 0. Everything has to be in by the end of the course. Okay, that GCU policy. So make sure you get it in on time, right? Okay, So we're talking about our EBP projects, and so it'll be fun to see what each other did, what you thought about them, the pros and cons. You guys are fairly respectful of one another. I think constructive criticism is good as long as it's respectfully presented. So I think it's good to hear feedback about your work because remember, this is a practice for when you have your individual evidence-based practice course and you're going to be doing it on your own without group members. Then the second one, DQ, talks about mixed methods. And we've talked about the strengths and weaknesses of qualitative and quantitative, and everybody thinks, oh, mixed methods. This is great. We have both, right? Not so fast. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes mixed methods research is really, really good, especially if you have a group of researchers and you have people who have experience and background in both genres. Although sometimes it gets a little sticky because if you think about this, qualitative researchers are looking for rich detail, things that are not quantifiable, narratives that really tell the tale. You can get into somebody's mind, hear about their lived experience, and that's what's important. Quantitative folks on the other side are all about precision, exact measurement. How close can you get? What are your p-values? What's the alpha? What did your t-test show? When can I use this statistic? So you've got to think that people in both worlds, if you're really ingrained in one camp or the other, and let's say you have results from a mixed method study and they don't necessarily support each other, how do you figure out what's most important? What do you focus on in your article? And sometimes qualitative and quantitative researchers have a little bit of hard time talking to one another. But if you've got a great team and experts in both, it can really be a great thing. But there definitely are drawbacks to that approach, okay? And mixed methods is really not just talking about qualitative demographics and the whole rest of the study is qualitative. It really is talking about trying to address the research question in two different ways, okay, when we talk about mixed methods. All right, so I'm looking forward to talking about that. So the course ends Wednesday night. I hope to have things graded and your grades posted. I'm going to shoot for Monday. I have until the following Wednesday, but I'm going to shoot for Monday and do the best I can with trying to get those grades to you because I know they're important. And some of you are kind of in between one grade or another, so I will do my best on that. The last thing I want to tell you is that myself and GCU really value your feedback about all of our courses. So the end of course survey is something that I'm going to really strongly encourage you to complete. So the end of course survey has a couple different sections. It talks about the curriculum, the textbook, the assignments, all that kind of stuff. And then there's a section on the instructor. What I wanted to let you know is that you won't get two, like for two different instructors. Because I'm now the instructor of record, when you fill out that instructor piece, you need to be giving feedback about me. I'm sorry you won't have a chance to give feedback about your previous instructor unless you want to put something in the comment section. You're certainly welcome to do that, okay? But eventually I get the feedback, and of course it's not tied to anybody's names. I just get a graph of like how many people selected 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and then if you do write a comment, I get those comments kind of in a list, but they're not attached to anyone's name, of course. So anyway, GCU and I very much value that feedback, and I would really appreciate it, especially since this was such an unusual course, the way it played out. All right, guys, have really enjoyed getting to know you a little better, and I'm so excited to see how much you've dug into your articles and the growth that I've seen in just the short time that I've known you. See you in the main forum.